Hey guys, I'm Sam, here to talk to you about the best beginner performance mods. And when you start to modify your car, especially the performance parts, it gets a little daunting and can be intimidating because there's a lot out there. Do you just buy that turbo kit right away and make 1,000 horsepower? No, you don't do that. And we're gonna talk to you about that. And guess what? We also started carrying performance parts, so what better time to talk about it than now? The first thing I want to talk about is get your motor breathing right. So that's really intakes and exhaust. So talk about those separately. The intake, it's pretty self-explanatory, but the cool thing is you get better airflow going into your motor, and also sounds cool, especially something with a short ram intake. It sounds really good. You get that intake noise, kind of that grunt that you wouldn't get with the stock intake. And then on the opposite side of that with the exhaust, it sounds really cool. Everyone wants an exhaust or straight pipe, it seems, but get a performance exhaust because those performance exhausts are designed to channel airflow best out of that motor and get it out so it flows better. You can actually make more power, and these days fuel is kind of expensive. And with a good intake and exhaust, you can actually increase your fuel efficiency a little bit. With that also comes filter technology. So when we're talking about air intakes, you get a better filter than a lot of the OEM ones that you have. And your OEM filter you have, I bet you isn't good. You probably haven't changed it, and it's really dirty. There's probably like dead frogs or something on there, which sounds crazy, but I've had a dead frog on my air filter. I didn't think it was possible, but there's like a whole frog in my air box. So you want to change your filters because it gets your motor breathing right, and those good performance filters will allow for more airflow, but the technology of those will also not allow debris and dust and all that crap and rocks to get into your motor, so it'll still be healthy and work well. Don't straight pipe your car, straight pipe your If you have a turbo car, something you're gonna want is an intercooler and an upgraded one. So the stock one that you have might be really small and it's not gonna cool the air effectively, so you're not getting the most power and efficiency out of it. An aftermarket intercooler will do just that. It'll cool the air better and it'll give you more power and also more efficiency. A lot of manufacturers these days are going to turbocharged engines because they're actually more efficient. You can get better fuel economy with it. And with an intercooler, you get more power and more fuel efficiency. It's insane. Modifying your car, as far as performance goes, isn't just about going faster. You get more and more and more power, and what people forget about is stopping. I've been one of those people. I'm like, I want to have a really fast car, and the brakes are stock. So not only is that a little dangerous, a little sketchy because you're going faster and you can't actually slow down, it also looks kind of lame. When you have a car that's like modified, nice body kit, nice wheels, tires, suspension, little plug there. If your brakes are modified, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Your stock rotors often rust and the hats on them look really bad. This is a good time to go to aftermarket brakes, especially if you've done any performance mods to increase the speed of your car. The brakes are definitely where I'd go next. Also, if you ever need to replace your brakes, like your rotors are warped or your pads are worn out, that's a good time to spend a little bit extra money and go with something on the aftermarket side. When it comes to rotors, some vented and slotted ones are great because it helps with the cooling of the brakes, it'll reduce brake fade, and they actually look really, really good, especially if you have some aftermarket wheels. When it comes to pads, there's a whole bunch of different choices. It kind of depends on what you're doing. If you're just driving on the street, there are some street spec pads that are good, but a little bit more aggressive than what you'd have stock. You can also go to some ceramic pads, which actually reduce all the brake dust you have, so you don't have to constantly clean your wheels. Now, if you really want to get aggressive and you want some vented and slotted rotors, you can get some track spec pads that'll be the most aggressive, essentially the softest compound. It'll create a lot of brake dust, but it'll stop really fast, stop on a dime. But like I said, there'll be a lot of brake dust, so you have to clean that up. So we talk about rotors, talk about brake pads. Something else you should look at are brake lines. And with that specifically are stainless steel brake lines. The stock ones that you have, they have flex to them. So when you hit the brake pedal, those lines will actually flex and it'll feel a little bit mushy in the pedal compared to when you upgrade to some stainless steel brake lines. It's not something hard to do. All you have to really know how to do is bleed your brakes. And there's tons of videos out there on how to do that. It's really easy. Those stainless steel brake lines will absolutely make a difference, especially if you go with some upgraded rotors and pads. The other thing that cars need to perform better is less weight. That's the easiest way to increase performance actually, is just to reduce weight. If you didn't do anything else and you just reduced weight, your car would actually be more fun to drive because it's carrying around less mass, so it'll handle better and have to be a little faster accelerating and stopping because it just weighs less. The easiest ways to do that is with carbon fiber. Carbon fiber hoods is probably one of the most popular mods because they look really cool. It's a way to flex on your friends, and it reduces a lot of weight that cars have because hoods can be heavy. The other thing are carbon fiber trunk lids or even doors if you're extra baller. The other area people kind of miss out on when it comes to reducing weight are seats. Your stock seats, especially if you have something like a BMW or a Lexus, they have heating elements in them, even sometimes some airbags, which they're heavy. And if you go with some aftermarket seats like some Sparcos or Recaros or anything that has a fixed back, those are a lot lighter. You're gonna sacrifice some comfort and some luxury features for that, but it's quite a sacrifice in weight as well, so there's trade-offs there. But making your car lighter just helps perform better, and a lot of those weight-saving mods help it actually look cooler and you enjoy it more as a driver. On the flip side of weight reduction, don't gut the interior. So when we're talking performance mods, unless you're an absolute track, aholic and that's all you want to do, don't gut your interior. Yes, you will save some weight, but I'm telling you, you are going to sacrifice an absolute ton of comfort with that, and you're going to hate your life. If you do want to save weight in the interior, go with those seats, or there may be some carbon fiber things you can buy in the interior to save a little bit of weight, but also look at the cost that you're sacrificing as well. The important thing is to be able to take advantage of these modifications as well. So especially if you do like an intake, an exhaust, intercooler, anything with a motor, you're gonna wanna get a tune on it. And I'm not saying you gotta get like a standalone ECU, but there are a lot of plug and play tunes as well. So you can basically plug a tuner in, download some tunes from the manufacturer, and take advantage of those mods. Some motors are able to understand what's happening as far as the new intake and exhaust, what's happening to the flow of air through the motor, but some of them don't, and you can help it with a tune. That'll really allow you to capitalize on those modifications. The other thing, some motors come stock a little detuned, where some of the potential isn't fully unleashed, and that's due to reliability. You might sacrifice a little bit of reliability or longevity of some motor components or engine components with an aftermarket tune. That's a trade-off you want to make, but it will help you in the performance game. The other side of performance is handling. So suspension is huge. We sell coilovers, you guys know that, or lowering springs. Anything with that to help lower your ride height, lower that center of gravity, will help you in a large way when it comes to handling. We do offer custom spring rates as well. Give us a call, we can help set you up with the best spring rate for your vehicle and your application, because stiffer spring rates might be something you need if you want to go super low, or you're doing a certain sort of thing like drifting, where I need way heavier front springs than what a normal set of aftermarket coilovers come with because of what I'm doing and how much weight I'm transferring with the car. The other thing with suspension are sway bars. So you kind of connect the chassis together, and stiffer sway bars will help you give better steering input and response. We gotta talk about wheels though. This is an important one. Not only do wheels look cool, but lightweight wheels is a great performance mod. Myself, I'm running Novias on my 240, and it's a huge difference in performance when it comes to the weight of the wheels. Lightweight wheels help you go faster because there's less rotational mass to, oh God, Jell's made me giggle. He gave me a head nod. Lightweight wheels have less rotational mass. When it comes to accelerating, you can actually accelerate faster because there's less weight your car has to get turning around to get going. The same goes for stopping. That less rotational mass means there's less mass to stop. When you slam those brakes on, you come to a complete stop. It'll actually stop faster. The other thing, wheels are great, tires, maybe even better, because all these performance mods don't really matter if you don't actually have some good rubber put down to the road. If you do all of this, like I did one time, and you still have some really cheap tires, it doesn't matter. You're just gonna spin the tires and you try to turn in, that turn-in response isn't gonna be felt because you lose all of that mechanical grip with some crappy tires. Get some good tires, especially some all seasons if you wanna do some good spirited driving. You'll get the most out of your performance modifications and have the most fun with your car. That's a quick list of the best beginner mods when it comes to performance with your car. It's not something that should be super daunting, and like I said, we actually carry them on our website now. Take a look, and we have some of those best beginner ones live on the site as we speak. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm Sam. Peace.